Welcome to the functional testing session of day 2. So today I'm going to cover some basic topics of what is software project and product, and Q and QC. What are the some basic things we can cover in today's session? Okay, so for session, let me share the whiteboard. Okay. Share whiteboard. Seeing a whiteboard, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So let's discuss about software. Okay. So what is software? So I think we covered in the last session, but let me walk through once again. So software. Okay. Why we'll discuss what is software and why is testing required for software. Okay, that we can discuss now. Okay. Now what is software? Software is basically set of programs which will perform set of tasks. Okay, where software is a basic set of programs which will perform set of tasks. The software can be developed by certain software developers using multiple tools like Java or Python, okay, some ML language, some we have certain tools right in the market. So using different tools, the developers can develop certain software as per the customer requirement. Let's say, for suppose, a bank is a customer. Okay, let's suppose a bank is a customer. Okay, so and they want to automate, a bank is a customer and they want to automate their daily task, what they are doing manually. So for this, they will approach an IT company. They will approach an IT company or IT industry. Okay, so they will approach. They will approach an IT company, and they will communicate with each other about the process on their day-to-day work. So as I said earlier, right, let's assume and the bank has everything is manually they are performing the transaction like deposits, withdrawal, everything they are noting in the booklets and books. So for this they are taking day so much of time. So for that reason, the bank has approached an IT industry. So boss, we want a software to automate our daily works like depositing and transactions, address updates, or something like this. Okay, so they will first decide budget. Okay, the bank will decide certain budget. Once the customer is agreed with the time, okay, and they will decide with the budget and time. Okay, then they will do certain proposal agreement. So once they agreed with that time and budget to develop a software for the bank, so they will come to a certain agreement, and so on. So budget will spend on this, so on. So software will required, which will do in their company. Okay, yeah, not only this process. Okay, it's anything like if you consider as a pharma or any automobile industry, in order to develop any product, they will follow certain requirements, right? So like in pharma industry, what they will do, they will collect some raw materials. From there they process the requirement and they process the raw material into a packet or something like a tablets, and then they will release to the market, right? Similarly in the IT industry also we have some process which is SDLC. In the IT industry, so we have also some process to implement a, what is SDLC is software development lifecycle process. The end-to-end process, like from where it begins and where it ends, all the complete step-by-step process is called SDLC. In SDLC, we have certain phases. Okay, in SDLC we have certain phases. What is that phases? We'll see now in SDLC. What is software development life cycle? Here we have certain phases. What are those phases? We'll see now. The first phase is analysis Next word is design phase. The next is coding phase. The next is testing phase. The next is maintenance. The maintenance phase. Okay. So we have certain phases in the SDLC process. What are these? Analysis, design, coding, testing, and maintenance. Okay. In the analysis. Okay. So in this process, the software will go in certain process like analysis, design, coding, testing, maintenance, okay, all these things. So in the first level, the customer analysis means in the first level we'll get the customer requirements to understand clearly, and then we will design the software, and then we will code the software. Means we need to develop software by using certain programming languages, and then test the software, and finally deploy the software into the customer environment. So software will go through, in order to develop a software, it will go through certain stages like requirement, design, coding, testing, and maintenance or deployments we call. Okay. So here it will start with the customer will get the outcome, and then completely known as SDLC process. It talks about the complete phases, all the phases of software development activities. So SDLC will talks about the complete phases, all the phases of software development activities. And in each and every phase, there are different. In each and every phases, there are different teams will be involved. Okay. Okay, and mainly we will involve in the testing phase. Okay, mainly, and here in the testing is one of the phase in entire development process in SDLC process. Testing is one of the process, and it is crucial. Okay, in order to deliver any software, testing phase is the very crucial. Okay, so software is a collection of programs, and if you want to develop a software to the customer, we need to go certain process. The process is called what I call SDLC process. Okay, now let us see here also there are two types of software we'll discuss in the industry. Okay, here we will discuss two types of softwares. Okay, one is project and another product. Okay, so before entering into the software industry, we need to understand all these things like project and product software. So what is product and what is project? Okay, we'll discuss. In IT testing, we'll talk more about these two. We'll talk more about these two. And even in companies also, there are two types of companies. Okay, one is product-based company. It is service-based. Okay, in IT, we'll talk more about these two. And even in companies also, there are two types. One is product company and other is service-based companies. Okay, I will tell you what is difference on these two. Okay, first, let us understand. So, to understand this, so normally we have a project and product, right? Both are softwares only. Both are softwares only, but only the slight difference. Project means we can develop. Okay, project means we can develop to specific customers. Okay, we will develop a specific customer. Sometimes the companies will develop some software. Okay, sometimes the companies will develop some softwares based on the market requirements. So they will analyze the market. So what is the market is like, what kind of software requires. They will do certain analysis on the market requirements. Okay, they will gather some requirements, and based on that, they will develop software that is called product. Okay, project is nothing but project is it will take some requirements from the customers. Customers means like end users, like let's say in our example, previous example, bank. Okay, bank has some requirements. Okay, they want to automate their daily task what they are doing currently in the bank. So they are approaching the company. So I want this type of software where I can handle my day-to-day activities. That is called project. So project is the customer will come to the IT industry and they will give some requirements to develop the company. But coming to product, product is the company itself develop a product. Okay, the company itself develop an application and release it to the market. Let's say example, Facebook, okay, Windows, okay, MS Office, all this, what they will implement the product itself, develop that software and release to the market. Okay, and customers will use like our, like we will use those things, right? So product is something we'll develop that and release to the market. Project is something the customers will approach IT company to get some to get the software done by the as per their requirements. Okay, in simple terms, I can say project and product in simple terms. Even the Google, if you search in the Google, they will give simple example is when we go to tailor shop. Okay, tailor shop, we'll give measurements. Was I am giving these measurements. Based on this measurement, please stitch a shirt or pant to me. Okay, so you are going to the tailor shop and you are giving the measurement. Okay, based on the measurement, the tailor stitch the clothes and give it to you, right? This is something like a project example. The basic example for the project is something we are giving the measurements to the tailor and he will stitch the cloth as per the measurements and give it to hand over to you. So that is project. Product is something like a ready-made garments. Okay, we'll go to the shop and pick up from the as per the size and as per the height and length. We'll pick up the shirts or pants, right? That is ready-made garments will treat as a product and stitched clothes will treat it as a project. It's a basic example. Okay. So here are the, I said, right, there are two types of companies, right? One is service-based companies and one is product-based companies. So project service-based, like whoever that implements the project, they will call as a service-based companies, and product, as I said, right, ready-made garment, something, right? And that's treated as a product-based companies. Okay. So in our example also, we have some service-based companies like TCS, Accenture, Wipro. Okay, they are treated as service-based companies because they will implement some applications to the n number of clients. Okay, there are some more companies, they will purely product-based companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM. They are the some companies under product-based companies. So they will develop products based on the market requirements. Like as I said, example is MS Office, Windows. They will develop and release to the market. So everyone is using that is called product. Okay, clear? If there is still any confusion, please ask it me, so that I can proceed with the next.
Yeah,
Clear, right?
okay.
Okay. So now we will discuss about software testing in the entire process of SDLC. Okay, and why testing is crucial stage. Okay. In testing, we called as a SDLC. What is SDLC? Is software testing life cycle. Okay, SDLC. So when this stage will come during the testing phase. Okay, SDLC. Even in testing, we do a lot of activities like here also test planning, writing test cases. Okay, filing a bug, what is bug and what is the fair, that I will tell in the coming classes. Yeah. Creating a report. All these will come in the part of testing phase. So these activities will come under the SDLC process. Okay, but why do we need to testing on the software? Okay, but why? do we need to do testing on the software? Because customer, for suppose, okay, in example, okay, I want to purchase a mobile phone. So what I will expect, I have certain budget and I'm expecting some features to be there in my mobile. Okay. So like I'm expecting, my budget is 10,000. I'm expecting 64 megapixel camera and 12 GB RAM and 1 TB ROM. Okay. And the size of the display is 6.7 inches. Okay. Like that I'm expecting, and I will search for the product. Okay, then what I will do is I will approach a shop, then I will search for multiple mobile phones. So on which, so whichever comes under my budget and should have some features what I expected. Okay, I will go and search multiple mobiles on the shop, and I have found one phone. Let's say example, I found one phone which I have expected features. So now what I have the expected features in that mobile. So it is coming under my budget. So what I will do now, I'll purchase the mobile phone and start using it. Okay, now I'll purchase that mobile phone under my budget, whatever having the features and what I am expecting. So what I will do, some of the features. Okay, now I'm using. Now I came to home and start using the phone. Okay, let's say I switched on the phone. Okay, phone is working now. Now I'm mainly concentrated on the camera, right? I'm expecting 64 megapixel camera. They also said it's a 64 megapixel camera. Now I'm taking some pictures using the mobile phone. But after seeing the pictures, what I am seeing, the pictures, it looks like some 2 megapixel camera pictures. Okay, the resolution is something like it. So here I am sent. So my feature is not working as I expected. So I spent a lot of budget here and I expected some features should it work as per my requirement there. And then I started using it and certain features are not working. So as a customer, I will start frustrating with this because I spent a lot of budget. So what is the reason for this? Is before listening to the market, because they haven't tested the properly. Because if before listening to the market, if they have tested the mobile phone properly, like a 64 to 2 megapixel something, right? So if it is properly tested, then I won't get that issues, right? So if I get this type of issues, then what happens? The customer will frustrate, and whatever the dealings till now they had, okay, they will cancel that. Lot of budget issues, okay, lot of cases issues, everything will come. So testing is very one of the crucial stage in the software development life cycle. Okay, before releasing to the customer or market, the testing is one of the crucial phase. Okay, so that's so if it is in the case of, like I said, on mobile phone, okay, it's okay, it's a small matter. Like if it is in the case of banking application, okay, then it is a very difficult for the customer, right? And for banking application, if there is any fault in that banking application, then lots of crores of amount will lose, right?
Yeah.
So in order to give a perfect quality product or quality application or quality software, the testing is needed. So testing is an activity to detect and identify the defects in the software. And the main object of the testing is to deliver the quality of the product to the customer. Okay. The main objective of the testing is to deliver the quality product to the customer. So far we discussed about what is software. So far we discussed about what is software. Okay, SDLC. Okay, project versus product, and why testing required. Okay, so far clear? Any doubts or any confusion or not at all understood? Please let me know so that I can repeat it again. Okay. Okay. So shall I continue?
Okay, question.
So here I will give you a very high level understanding of what kind of testing we will do and why testers not require any programming skills. Okay. Let me give you a high level picture. So there are different types of testings, as I said, right? So we need to do as part of SDLC. So for example, in real-time environment, right? So there are two guys involved in software development process. One is developer, or we can call as a programmer, can call them as a programmer. Okay, the others I call as testers, or we can call them as a few people. Okay, these are two teams majorly involved during the software development process. So what are the main role of developer is, what is the main role of developer is, they will develop software, means they will write different programs for the customer requirement. Okay, they will write a program using some, okay, they will write some programs using some tools, like exam using like uh, Java or Python or a .NET, something which are in the market. Okay, as per the customer requirements, they will implement a software using some different tools. Okay, and they don't do any testing, means they will do only certain level of testing, but we have to test a lot. So QA or testing team is different team. They are completely responsible for testing the software. The developer, a programmer will develop the software and testers test the software. But here, if you understand what is developer task is, they will write a small program and logic, and they will also do a certain level of testing, like whether the program is working or not. Okay, they will write a certain piece of code, which is okay code, something they will write a piece of they will write a certain piece of code. Here, to understand what the developer task is, they will write a small program and they will do a certain level of testing, like whether the program is working or not. They will give some input and they are expecting some output to be there. So this is also kind of testing they will do. And the level of testing is doing by the developer is called as unit testing. They will call as unit testing. Okay, let's say they have a developer, the programmer, they have written a code. What is the code is something like example a plus b equal to, sorry, 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So they have written a code, they have written a logic to get the output as 3 while the passing 1 plus 2. Okay, for that they will create a, for that they will create a program and they will test for them itself. Just the code is working as per my output. Okay, like 1 plus 2 equal to 3, that they are getting or not, they will test like that. Then it is called as unit testing. What unit testing is something what the developer has written the code is working or not, they will test. That is called unit testing. Okay, yeah, they test their own programs, what internal logic of the programs, like they will create some conditional statement and looping statements and everything there. So they need make sure all the lines of the code is properly executing or not when providing different kinds of inputs to the program. So now they will see check that are we are getting the correct output or not. So they will test internal program, that's called unit testing. And this is done basically done by the developers at the developer point of view, because they know the program, how they had written program, and similarly have multiple programs, right? They have communicate with each other. Okay, let's say we have Let's say programmer 1, programmer 2, and programmer 3. And there is, I'll tell you what is M1. Okay. So programmer 1 written a program and he tested unit testing that his code is working. And programmer 2 has written his code and he has tested his unit testing and his code is working expected. And programmer 3 as well also, he also wrote some program, okay, and he also done some unit testing and he also did some unit testing and his code is working expected. Now they want to combine into a single program. Let's say example, P1 has written a login page of a bank. Let's say example, you have an idea on internet banking, right? Let's say P1 has developed a login page. Okay, login page. Okay, he tested that login page is working. Okay, P2 he is developed a home page. After login, the home page has to display, right? That he has developed. And P3 has developed any transactions. Okay, any transaction has been performed. Okay, he has developed this. So now all these three people combined into a single module. Like at that time, I can log into the application. After login, I can check the home page. After login to home page, I can say the transaction. Okay, all these guys have combined their program into a single application or software, and they will test together is called as integration. Together, the test is called integration testing. Like at this down, yeah. So here P1 output is to the input P1. What the programmer got the output as input to the programmer 2, and what the programmer got output as input to the programmer 3. So then all they combine the program into a single. Single program, it is called an integration system. So these two testing, if we want to conduct, we need to know the programming skills or internal logic of the program. So that is the reason these two testings will be done by the developers itself in their environment. So unit testing and integration testing done by the developers, right? Venkatesh, you're there?
Hi, sir.
Okay, are you getting? Oh, you can ask it, right? Why you're
M1.
yeah, M1 is, etc. The combination of all these programs. Okay. The combination there, once they integrated all these programs into a single model, then it is called a M1. M1 is nothing but all the programs P1, P2, P3 come into a single model. All these models combined into a one model. Okay. Now
Okay.
I have an application like this person has developed login page. Okay. In the banking application, you see login page, right? And the second person has implemented the inside the login page. Once whatever we are logging to the banking application, we'll get some home page, right? That page he has developed. And P3 is something like he developed some design or some transactions page in the home page. Okay.
Okay.
So all these now everything is a separated module, right? All these programs combined into a single. Now, whenever I log into the application, okay, now whenever I log into the application, I can see the home page, okay, transactions page, login page at a time, right? This complete piece is called some module. So they will combine all those programs into a single model and they will do a testing. That is called the integration testing. Okay. So both unit testing and integration testing will done by the developers because they have written their code, they know what they have written the logic, and they will do the testing. That is the reason they have written that. Okay. This is called.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. No, but they don't do the complete testing because they don't do the complete testing. The developers will do what the code is working or not. That's it. They will do. So once
Hello,
they
sir.
have written, sorry, are you asking anything? No, right? Okay. The developers don't do the complete testing because they test only the program or logic what they have written that is working or not. So once they have written particular code, they will perform unit and integration testing. Once they're done with those two testings, finally what they will do is they will integrate these programs as a build or a package or an executable format. Okay. What they will do is, hello. Hello. So what they will, once they do some certain level of testing and they will before release the QA versions, they will integrate all these models into a build or called as executable format, okay, or a package we call this, okay. It is something like a, let's say if you download like if you want to install a Chrome browser, okay, what they will do, you will download the Chrome browser. The what they will call it is an extension, right? .exe files. So the programmer, what they have written the modules, okay, they will convert into a executable format. Okay, they will convert into the executable format and they will give to the QA people. QA people, testers, what they will do, they will install that executable file in their machines or in their systems and then they will do a testing. So we just install the build or executable form in our environment, just like installing a software. Then we will do a testing of a software. So what kind of testing we will do is already unit testing and integration testing is done by the developer. But here we will also do a testing, but this testing is completely done by the testing team. So this is called system testing. Yeah, system testing. So to test the complete software means this is called end-to-end we have is perform is system testing. But here what is the input the developer is written is the code because they know internal logic what they are able to test is in the form of unit and integration testing. But when it comes to the system testing, how the testers know the functionality of the, how they will do, they know the functionality of the application. So before getting the build from the developers, tester has to do certain job. They have to understand the requirements from the customer and they will prepare a test cases, test plans and all. So before getting the executable file to the QA people or testers, what we have to do is we no need to, we don't want to wait that much of time. So before that what we'll do is we'll understand the requirements. As per the requirements we'll write the test cases. Okay, what is test cases and everything we'll let you know in the coming classes. Okay, so we'll write the test cases. Okay, we'll have the test plan like how many days it will take and so all these things we'll get ready with before the build gets to us. Okay, here the test case means step by step process. A test case means yeah, means step by step process to be executed. Okay, so once we are clear with the requirements, we can write all the test cases and then we can easily test the software. Once we are ready with the test cases, the same test case whatever we have written in some tools or Excel sheet or whatever in Notepad, those test cases only we will execute once the build is ready for QA. So like this, we can test the entire software. So here we talked about different testings like unit testing and integration testing. So these testings done by the developers at the program level, whereas system testing is done by the testers whether this application is working as per the customer requirement or not. This is the main intention of the system testing. Okay. So here we don't know what developers has written, but we should know the functionality, like how the application will be like and how the screens should look like. So let's say take an example like that our banking application, we can take simple example of banking application. Okay, we know that how the banking application will work. That because and we know the requirements from the customer. Like we should get a login page. After login, we should be able to see the home page. Okay, in the home page, we can again see account statements, transactions, funds transfer. Okay, address updates. Okay, some services. Okay, IMPS services. All these things that we are seeing or not. So we'll test each and every phase of the application in the during the system testing. So unit testing, all these testings cannot done by the developers because they will test only the program what they have written that is working or not. That's it. Yeah. So unit testing and integration is also known as white box testing. Okay, unit testing and unit and testing is known as white box. Because they know why it is called white box testing is because they know what they have written inside. When it comes to the system testing, here we don't know. Comes to the system testing, okay. Once comes to the system testing, we don't know what is have written, okay, internally, and but still we are testing the software based on the requirements. So it is called as black box testing. System testing is called as black box called black box system. Black means internally. Black box means internally we don't know what is there completely. Okay, that is completely blank. We don't see anything, right? That is called black box testing. But here in white box, we can see internal what is written. That's it. Okay. Also, all testers will comes under the black box testers, and all developers will comes under the white box testing. Okay. One more testing we have is UAT testing. This testing is called UAT testing. What is means UAT is user acceptance testing. Okay. Once QA team is done with the testing, they will give to the customers. Okay. Once we have done our system testing, we will release to the customer. Okay. Customer will deploy in their own systems. So customer also directly don't deploy in the live environments. Okay. They will deploy their own system. Then they will do a certain round of testing before releasing to the market. They will customers also do some testing. So on that UAT testing is the testing is called UAT testing, user acceptance testing. Okay, once the application is working fine for them, customers also, then they will release to the market. Then it is sometimes if you don't find any issues in the system testing during our environment, some at the sometimes in the customer environment, they will find there some bugs. If they did not find the bugs, then they will release to the market. If they find any bugs during the UAT testing, they will send back to us. Okay, us means here QA people. Okay, so once the UAT is success, then they will reach to the customer or market. Okay, that is. Yeah. This is what basic concepts of the testing. Okay. So as I said, right, the SDLC, we have a certain processor. In SDLC, we have different models like Agile model, V model, spiral model. SDLC. In SDLC, we have different models like Agile, sorry, V model, waterfall model, spiral model, okay, etc. Okay. So we'll discuss all these models, okay, complete SDLC models, and we can discuss tomorrow. Okay, finally I will tell about a V model and Agile model, okay, and I will tell what is a spiral, what is a spherical model, like what is waterfall model. Okay, all this comes because these are not used right currently. Okay, so that's why I will just give a brief introduction about the waterfall model, spiral model, but I will tell completely in depth of V model and agile model. Okay, so tomorrow I completely I concentrate only on the V model. Okay, V model is a huge topic. Okay, that also you should know during point of interview point of. Okay,
Okay.
okay. So for any questions? Stop recording option I'm not seeing.